Is there any real benefit in the director coming from an acting background?
Yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, it depends. You know, you can have a guy who's an actor, and he can be really gruff with the actors, because all of a sudden he becomes a director, you know, and he forgets about that. So I think it's best when a director is prepared, knows what they want. If they know how to talk to actors, that's good. I mean, De Niro was very good in little physical bits, you know, like in little behavioral things. So was Robert Redford. I think Robert Redford had a certain, you know, connection to that movie that he made, and some directors are less sure. Actor directors are less sure of themselves. They keep wanting to explore, and you know, they didn't know how they want to shoot it or not. So I think it's good if you know how to talk to an actor. The older directors, a lot of them were actors, or studied or did theater or whatever, and I think, you know, they were able to get certain kinds of performances out of people, maybe multi-dimensional performances. Now, younger directors don't train that way. They don't train in acting classes. They don't do theater. And I think younger people are more comfortable maybe initially in front of the camera. They're more relaxed because they grow up with all these video cameras and, you know, the internet, and you're doing this and that. But that doesn't necessarily mean their performances are more complex. Or maybe they can give one or two complex performances as a young performer, but they don't maybe haven't developed the craft of how to attack something that's really difficult material way beyond them, like you get to do in the theater, or with a great acting class, with those old great teachers who really did change acting. You know, Stella Adler and Sandy Meisner and Strasberg and all those people. The people who were trained out of them, you know, were really well trained, and were wonderful actors. Like, you know, take guys like Duvall and De Niro and Marlon Brando studied with Stella Adler, and they gave multi-dimensional performances. So I don't think it hurts if you're aware of that, but some actors can get frustrated too because they know how to do it, you know, and they may not be the most patient sometimes, you know, who are directing. So it really depends upon what the movie is and, you know, what the situation is. It's some people, like they're directors who write something so they understand where it comes from, but they don't know how to talk to you about it. And that's okay. Sometimes you can translate for them. Well, a lot of times younger directors want it the way it's in their head, and that can never be, because you're different than them. You're just a different person. But you can get the sense of what they, you know, what they're after. But it depends. Redford, I had a really great collaboration with, I have to say. But I had a lot of time with him before we started shooting the movie. So I never thought we'd hit it off like that. We got along great. Maybe because we're so different in some ways, but I'd love to work with him again. And he liked working with, I mean, we just got along really, really well. The only difference I had with him was he cut a big scene of mine, and I still think it was a mistake, and I was very upset about it. I think the film would have been more balanced that way. That's the only thing. But I adored working with him.